Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Palworld. This is a game that you can find on Steam's Early Access program for about 30 bucks or so, and I stress early access. That means everything that you're about to see is most definitely subject to change. This game is incredibly successful right now. Like, it's sold a lot of copies. I'm not going to get into all the specifics, but I was reading that the developers had to, convene in some kind of emergency meeting because the amount of people playing this game, it was exceeding the server limits, so they had to meet with Epic Games or whatever, and blah 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 blah. You don't care about that. I'm mainly here to explain what I've been doing so far with this game and give you my first impressions of it based on what I've played so far. I mean, while it takes inspiration from a lot of different games, it plays more like Ark Survival Evolved than any other game than, you could compare it to. Yes, there's a little bit of the Survivalists in there. The Survivalists is a game where you control a bunch of monkeys and you tell them to go do things in this open world. It's a top-down kind of survival game. In this game, you can actually catch, I hesitate to use the word Pokemon, but that's what this is. It's like Ark meets Pokemon. That's what you're doing. You're catching these creatures and you're putting them to work, kind of like you did in the Survivalists with the monkeys. So anyway, let's go ahead and show you real quick. Now, there is multiplayer in this. There's two ways to play that. There's multiplayer through the game, which supports up to 4 people, and supposedly there's this, dedicated server thing where it supports a lot more. I haven't tried that, nor am I good with that kind of thing. I'm old. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into it. You're going to create a new world, and when you create a new world, you'll be able to adjust the settings, and this is what I like. You can, easy, medium, hard, whatever, but there's also custom settings. Feel free to pause the video if you want to see this in greater detail, but there's a multitude of different options here. Again, if you've played Ark Survival Evolved, you'll be familiar with a lot of these things. XP rates, hunger depletion, how much damage creatures typically do to you. There's even some nods to Conan Exiles, which is kind of like Ark, but it has its own features that make it really unique. And for example, you can climb in this game, you can climb rock faces, and that's not something you could do in Ark. So this game definitely draws inspiration from a lot of those Ark, Conan survival games. So you're going to create your own game, and you can customize your settings. And again, pause if you want to see any of that in greater detail. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into one I had made. Now, there is a character creator, but I have to warn you, once you create your character, that's it. You cannot adjust it anymore. That's something down the line that they will be doing. Another thing I didn't like is that keybinds are extremely limited in this game. For example, I cannot bind anything to my side mouse buttons. It just won't let me. Another thing is the default interaction for everything in this game is F. It's also this partner skill. So there's nothing here in this menu that lets me change interact from F to E. I like E. I prefer E for interacting with things. But this F partner skill is not interact. So this F does a couple of things, and by default it also interacts. So I wish there was a more defined keybind list, and I wish I could assign things to my side mouse button, especially with, I'm going to be calling them Pokeballs, but they're not Pokeballs, they're Pal Ball, I don't know. But you're going to be throwing these balls at creatures to catch them, Does that sound familiar to you? Anyway, so again, I wish I could assign those buttons to my side mouse buttons because it just makes sense. So like in Ark and Conan Exiles, you'll be able to essentially build a house. Now, you don't have to build it this big. I just did because I wanted to. And I'll quickly show you the different options. Hitting B opens up your build menu. And there's a radial wheel here, and then you can use the mouse wheel to go between the different construction. And again, I've only been playing for about 3 or 4 hours, and you do earn XP pretty much by doing anything, by catching creatures, by building something, different things like that. So you will be earning XP a number of different ways. And so this is production buildings. This is the POW box. This is this is what defines a base. like your area that you can build in. And so as long as you build things in that radius, and it's outlined in blue. So if you look really closely, oh, we've got a raid. I may have to take a minute and deal with that. But there's a blue outline here, and that's the limits of the base. If you put buildings within the base, your creatures will interact with it. And different creatures can interact with different things. I may need a minute, though, to deal with this threat. So you can turn the whole raid thing off. That is something I like it on because I like the whole survival and base defense aspect to it. My creatures should be coming to my defense. Oh, yeah, there they go. All right, yes. Yes. At least you get to see all the different creatures in action, you know. All right, did we get them all? The enemy has been defeated. Okay, all right. Thank you there, Lamball. Appreciate your support. Anyway, so getting back to what I was saying. I did not mean to throw that. So, let's hit, what was I doing? Not Q. This is what I'm talking about rebinding. I'm trying to, you know, interact with the interface, and sometimes I forget what the buttons are. This is what I'm talking about. I'd love to rebind keys to certain things. B, there we go. I know, B for built. So there's storage boxes, cooler boxes, like in Ark. You will need to put feed boxes down in order to feed your animals, your creatures. Just like in Ark, there's troughs. In this game, there's feed boxes. There's plantations. There's infrastructure, like you have to build beds for all your pals, as they're called. There is sanity in this game for them, and if their sanity gets too low, they refuse to work, so they need to build like a hot spring for them. There's lighting, and then like in Ark, there's different foundations and walls that you can put down. Defenses right now, I have sandbag, but from my understanding, your creatures will get guns at some point. In fact, I crafted a few. I have not tried it out yet, though. So that's the build menu there. And then hitting tab brings up your character. Like in Ark, whenever you level up, you'll be able to enhance your stats. You pick HP or stamina, attack, work speed, weight. Like in Ark, you're going to increase your points by doing that. Your weapons and your tools also have durability. There's a repair bench inside my house. You just go there, spend resources, and boom, that's it. You've got your inventory on the left. And then you can hold up to 5 pals in your party. Each one does different things, which is kind of cool. Let's see. I guess I should just finish this up. Technology. This is very, 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 very reminiscent of Ark Survival Evolved. It starts on the top. You earn technology points, and then you go down and you throw points into different things. Like, I could spend 2 of my 7 technology points on a normal parachute and unlock that recipe. So like in Ark, you're going to be leveling up just by doing things, and you earn technology points when you do so, and that in turn allows you to unlock new recipes. So far, you know, I'm not really starved for points, but I'm kind of, you know, trying to be smart about what I'm doing. You will unlock things like a submachine gun for one of your creatures, if you happen to have them. This guy here gets an assault rifle. Yeah, it's really cool. Whenever they level up to a certain point, you will be able to unlock what's called a partner skill, which is something unique to these pals. It allows them to do special things. And I'll show you that in a minute. There's also ancient technology. I've not unlocked this yet, but from my understanding, by defeating bosses in this game, you'll be able to get these ancient technology points. The PAL deck is kind of like your Pokédex, and it's just a way of seeing all the different creatures that are within the game. Sorry if there's a little bit of lag there. It's kind of weird. I may have to tone down the interface or the graphics here. But anyway, getting back into this, there's the guild if you happen to have one. You can change your guild name there. And then the options menu, which I kind of already showed you. There's a survival guide. It kind of goes into how the game is played, and, you know, just read this on your own. It goes into a lot of that stuff. Okay, so creatures. What are they doing? Each creature has some kind of, you know, either unique ability or unique abilities, so that whenever you assign them to your base, they work it. If I click on this PAL box here, this is where you keep all the creatures that you've kept, and you actually earn XP when you catch these creatures, and when you've caught 10 of those creatures, you earn a nice bonus on top of that. Now, I haven't gotten into breeding or anything like that, but that is a thing in this game. And supposedly you can also, like, I guess, sacrifice them for pal juice or something or other. I haven't gotten that far. But you'll be able to, you know, improve your pals, I guess, by sacrificing others. I haven't gotten there. But on the very bottom, it says pals at the base. And these are the ones that are running around doing things. Now, Cattiva here, for example, one of the first ones that you get, you can see on the right, it levels up just like you do, just by doing things. It has food needs, and it has various partner skills, active skills, even passive skills that are unique to that particular Cattiva. By hitting F, I can bring up this more in-depth menu, and you can see on the right-hand side it says handiwork, gathering, mining, and transporting. Those are things that it can do around your base, assuming it is assigned to your base. So, for example, some creatures can water fields. Some creatures can seed fields, like this one can, this Liftmunk, whatever. Some creatures can haul things around for you. Some creatures can cook. This one requires kindling. So a particular creature that has that appropriate skill, I'll go ahead and make maybe 5 fried eggs and hit start production. And this creature here will come and do something about that. And this one here, this penguin, I'm sorry, pangullet, is currently, that's completely safe, by the way. Completely safe, not a fire hazard, not at all. But yeah, this one is able to craft. That's handiwork. So he made some nails for me. These are my different workbenches. So this one's making nails. You will need these pal spheres in order to catch these creatures. So I'm gonna, I can make 3 right now. I need more of this paldium fragments. So I'll hit start production. Someone will come and take care of that for me. This is the repair bench. Click on it, hit repair. And that'll take care of that. Other recipes, like the assault rifle I was showing you earlier, these are like PAL-specific special abilities. There's the primitive furnace that I recently built. I'm going to go ahead and smelt my ore here to make some bars. A feathered hairband. I guess that's just gear I can wear. I'm not sure what that is yet. I just crafted this. I can apparently craft some low-grade medicine and different things like that. As far as so that's like crafting and base building. The base building is pretty fluid. I haven't had any issues with it. It took a while. Nope, did not want to do that. Cancel. Yes, they actually build things too. That's another thing that they can do. But yeah, if you go to foundations, you can create multi-level stuff, assuming that you've built it in the right way. It took me a while to figure this out, but you had to build like the roof. This is a roof tile, and you just connect the stairs to it, and that's how you make the stairs. There is a day and night cycle. Get out of that. There is a day and night, so you can sleep through the night if you want to. There is temperature in this game. By having a torch equipped, for example, you get a little hot, and that'll keep you warm at night. There's some creatures that will actually keep you warm just by being nearby them. That one foxtail thing I had does that. The map itself is fairly large, as you can see. All of the revealed areas are starting points. You start off in a random one, but whenever you respawn because of death or whatever, you can actually choose which place to go to, which is kind of nice. There is a fast travel system. You can't do it from the map, but if you go to a fast travel point like your PAL box, you can go to other, there's these eagle statues or whatever they're called, and you can fast travel that way. And now I'm down here, the Plateau of Beginnings. This is where I started the game. If I wanted to fast travel up that way, I'd have to hit fast travel, F, and then come up here. I guess we'll go there. So enemies in this game don't scale with you. There are pretty much like zone specific, like these creatures are levels 1 through 5. And this area is like, I guess still like 1 through 6. There are dungeons in this game. Now, there's a couple of different like things. This is a dungeon. It says it's a level 13 boss, and it expires in 294 minutes. Why, I don't know. There's also these towers, which are like bosses as well. And by interacting with those, you'll fight a boss. And it's in fact one of the things I have to do in my tutorial in the upper right, which is challenge the boss at Rain Syndicate Tower. Make sure your pals and equipment are in top condition. And by that, they mean level up your pals. I don't have any equipped right now. Oh, I did. Daydream. You can only have one active at a time. And again, each one does something different. For example, come back. Using 1 and 3, I can swap between them. E casts it. This guy here, whenever he's more defensive, he has this passive roll defense thing. So in combat, he'll like take hits for you. He's kind of like a shield. Whereas the other creature I had, she, I think, shoots some kind of like dark void energy ball thing. I don't know too much about all these different abilities yet, because again, only 3 hours in. But you can have one active creature at a time, and having maybe a cattail with you, they'll mine while you're running around doing things. So you can have one active companion, but you can have a total of 5 with you that you can call out. So kind of like in a Pokemon battle, you can have like, you can bring 3 to 5 with you in the battle, and then you can only have one active at a time. It's kind of similar here. There's also resistances in this game, or elements. I don't know if I can find it exactly, but there is a cool, there we go, elements. So like in Pokemon, water Pokemon beat fire, fire beats grass, you know, different things like that. There is a rock, paper, scissors element to this game. So when you're doing damage against something, then, you know, take that into consideration if it's really meaningful to you. There is light survival in this game. There is a hunger system, so you need to cook food and eat it. You can eat it raw too, but do that. And your peeps get hungry too, by the way. Let's see if I can catch someone. Typically, so if I hold in Q, that's 16% chance to catch, and that's with a back bonus because I'm targeting their back right now. So you have to whittle them down, and then when you do that, then you throw it, and you have a better chance. Okay, now it's 49%. I didn't mean to kill it. I'm so sorry. What about you? Can I get you? Let's try you. There are different level balls that you can throw, so the better balls give you a better chance of catching it. That's 58%. We'll try it. We'll see what happens. 73%. It may break out. We'll see. And there you go. And in catching that, I gained some XP. On the right, it says capture success, 3 out of 10. That means, again, if I capture 10 of that particular creature, then I'll get a nice bonus. Now, that big one down there, I've never seen that, but it's a lucky one, I think. That's like a special one. I'll try and catch it, but I can't promise anything. 6% capture. It's sparkly. Don't kill me. All right, now can I catch you? 72%. We'll see if that catches. All right, nice. Okay. There are things in the environment that you can interact with, things that you can pick up. Eventually, you'll get tools, and you can chop down trees, mine rocks, different things like that. As far as my first impressions of the game, it's fairly good. Again, I've read some people complain that this game is too much like Ark, and it's too much like Pokemon. And I'm not going to sit here and say, well, they're right, it is. There's a lot of similarities. You know, if you play Ark, this tech tree, I mean, come on. If you put an Ark tech tree and this tech tree side by side, it's clearly inspired by, clearly. Is that a problem? I don't think so. You know, this is its own game. It does its own thing. And yes, it does sort of take some liberties in the way it presents its information, typically by copying off something else. But I'm not going to sit here and say they shouldn't have done it. I mean, in my opinion is this. I've been wanting to play Ark Survival Evolved for a while, but I am not in the mood to sit for an entire day trying to download it because it's like a terabyte in size. This game is like a tenth of that disk space. You know what I mean? And it takes it's faster to download. So as a consumer, I'm going to pick the product that's easier to download and a game that I can still get a lot of enjoyment out of playing. If it's similar enough, I can scratch that itch. You know what I mean? Without having to, worry about the big kahuna that's out there. In this case, Ark Survival Evolved. So like, I don't mind a little competition. And in fact, that's what makes the economy. People being in competition with each other, businesses being in competition. So maybe this will light a fire under the butt of the folks at Ark and other survival games like this. Pokemon. I'm sure people at this point are starved for Pokemon. Yes, there's Temtem and there's other Pokemon-esque games out there, but which ones allow you to base build and assign them to a base like this and have them work? Typically, it's all turn-based. A lot of these Pokemon games, Pokemon-esque like games. I'm gonna go ahead and deposit these into there, and there's a sort feature. I wish this sort feature were a bit better, to be honest with you. But yeah, so first impressions are good. I've been enjoying this. If you've played Ark, you'll get the base building in no time flat. I think the biggest learning curve for me was, what do the creatures do? And, how do they level up? Which one should I be getting? I can only assign a limited number to my base. And your base will actually level up too. There's something called a base upgrade. So as you fulfill these base requirements, it goes up in level. And if you look on the bottom of that window, it says base level reward, max pals working at base. Also max number of bases. So like, you have to improve your base by doing what it asks so that you can get more workers at your base. You can increase the number of bases. And because your bases serve as a fast travel... Oh my gosh. Hi. Okay there. That's fine. Another Ark moment where, the big Triceratops comes storming through your base. Well, there you go. Anyway. So, I forgot what I was saying. But, the fast travel thing. Because it acts as a fast travel point, your base, you want to be strategic about where you're putting them because you are limited by the number of bases you can have. So definitely put bases down where fast travel points are not. Okay, just something to consider. You don't have to. And yes, you can put markers down on the map by hitting E, for example. There's stars, pickaxes. I mean, this is nothing great. I can't seem to type anything or name these points, but I can at least mark them. So again, this game is early access. It still has some work ahead of it. But I've been playing it for 3 or 4 hours now, and I'm really enjoying it. And the fact that it sold so many copies, part of me is worried that this is another one of those, I want to say meme games, but this is like the hot crap that, everyone's playing right now, and then 2 months later it's going to go away and no one's going to be playing it. I sincerely hope that's not the case, because this game has a lot of potential. I love base builders. Like, I will play this game for the base building and the automation aspect of it and managing my workers. I could care less about the lore and stuff like that. I just want to build a gigantic base and just sit back and relax and watch the animal labor happen. Don't worry, in real life that would not happen at my house. I'm just saying, I would love to see in a video game me just kind of kick back, watch things happen. It's kind of the same pleasure that I get out of playing Medieval Dynasty when I assign people to do different jobs and they go about doing them. They bring in the resources and then I choose what I want to do with it. Takes all the minier labor out of it. So yeah, there you go, folks. This is a very brief first impressions look at Palworld. It's 10% off right now for a little bit because it, again, just released into early access. And I'm sure there's more that I haven't shown you, but so far I'm really enjoying it. Just keep in mind, there's still going to be some bugs, there's still going to be some problems, but it is fairly enjoyable. One bug I just want to point out, if the developers happen to watch this, I put beds up here. It's like the creatures have a hard time coming in and out of the house. I see them hauling things around the house. Very rarely will they come in through this door and go out that door. They go around. Like, this one's wandering in here, fine, but sometimes when given the choice, they'll go around the house which is kind of silly. But there you go. That was Palworld. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I will catch you all next time. Take care.